Hello everyone. I this video. So this started as a attempt for me to get back into weekly vlogging and very rapidly became me attempting to read Shantaram or finish reading Shantaram. And so I don't know what to call this. This is a weekly reading vlog slash Shantaram reading vlog. So enjoy, and I'll see you at the end, I guess, for all of my thoughts. This is like my 97th attempt at actually filming a vlog for you guys because I haven't vlogged in a really long time and I've had at least one person tell me they miss my vlogs and I'm trying. I do have a reading vlog coming out that's probably already out, but I haven't just kind of vlogged my life. So we're really going to try that this week. It is currently Sunday afternoon, I think almost now. It's about noon. I had like a rough night's sleep, but that's okay. I am ready to get myself reset for the work week. I work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I'm actually off like 5 days. So this will be roughly a weekly vlog. Today, if you can hear behind me, is like reset day. So Jesus is doing the lawn and he is barking at me. I just got groceries, so I'm going to unpack those and start making the meals for the week. I've been following these people on TikTok for a little while. I think they're called like Stay Fit Mom or Moms or something like that. But they do like meal preps and with macros and all of that stuff. And like I don't really care about the macros so much as what I like about people who do put together meal plans that have macros is that they're pretty good at telling you like the exact serving size. And when I make my own food, I don't do that. I just kind of slot things in my containers, put them in the fridge, take them to work, and probably eat too much. I'm still in my battle to get back to closer to my weight pre the vid. They have all kinds of plans and things that are all quite expensive, but they do have this subscription plan where I guess you pay like $10 a month. They send you a monthly like meal planning thing, or you can spend $15 and buy like one PDF from 1 month. So I bought June because it had a couple interesting things in it. I'm going to try 3 of their recipes. They look fairly straightforward. There's like a chicken sort of salad, a green chili mac and cheese that I'm going to put bison in, and beef and broccoli, which is, you know, white people beef and broccoli. We're going to try these. Hopefully they're not terrible. And if I like them, I may peruse some of the other months that they have meal plans for, get the ones that I like and to print them out and just keep them and cycle through them. I would get their cookbooks and stuff, but all these people who make content that they sell, digital content and stuff, they're so freaking expensive. Like there's no reason that your print cookbook, ma'ams, is $70. Like, no, what are you printing it on? Gold? Let's put the groceries away. I'm currently reading, since this is a reading channel and reading blog, I'm currently reading Shantaram, which is really phenomenal. I am impressed and shocked at how engaging this story is and how much I like it and how much is in this and how unbelievable it is at times and how heartwarming and poignant and compelling and just all the adjectives of positiveness. That's not English, but anyway, it is, quote, a literary masterpiece according to the Daily Telegraph, and I do sort of agree with that quote so far.
Oh, my sweet summer child.
I am in part 2. I'm on chapter 12, so here I am. I'm going to listen to this. We're going to put away groceries and start cooking. And that's that. Okay, so we have the bison and chili mac and cheese. I had to switch pots because that pot wasn't big enough. So that one's done. I put turmeric in it so it looks more like mac and cheesy as opposed to just like white. And then the chicken breasts for the salad are just going to be slow cooking for a few hours. And then I'll shred it up. I have the beef and broccoli still to cook, but I'm gonna do that probably closer to when the chicken's done, because I still have some more stuff to cook for the chicken. So this is just the beef. I cut it up because flank steak is freaking expensive. I just got whatever was on sale. I just have to make a dressing, the salad itself for the chicken for when that's done, and then beef and broccoli. Still listening to Shantaram, and I'm going to do some things around the house. It's a lazy Sunday, sort of. A lazy, productive Sunday? Are those things? Are those both things? I don't know. I've got more dishes to do. I'm so tired already. It's going to be a long 3 days after this. But we'll have meals, and I have breakfasts. I got little oatmeals. I think I can just read for a little bit and then do my next round of cooking. It is like 5 o'clock, 6 o'clock. I made all the foods. Don't look at my disgusting kitchen, but it's mostly cleaned up. I have earned a glass of wine. I started editing the reading vlog I did for 4th week. I'm trying to get more creative with my editing, so I've been watching a lot of videos on this is how I edit my videos, and this is where I get fonts, and this is where I'm just opening wine. This is where I find overlays and boopity boo, and this is how I do that, and it's interesting. I've learned a couple things. I feel like I just want to take an actual class for video editing, specifically with Final Cut Pro, because that's what I use. I've tried Skillshare, and I find Skillshare to be bullshit. I feel like it's very surface level. I do have a Udemy class on Final Cut that I'm gonna try, but I'm also trying to take this creative writing class from Udemy, and that's been a bit of a bust because I just haven't had a moment to sit down and write. That's not true. I've had moments. I've just been so tired and not in a thinking mood like that. I can't be creative. I need creative juices. But anyway, I'm gonna have a little bit of wine. I'm gonna wind down for the night. I might just read Lore Olympus or something, or get back to the Plek book. But I got all 3 meals done. The salady thing is weird. I don't know how I feel about it. Chicken, I guess, is good to go on top of it. Salad itself is meh. I think it's just because the romaine is really gross, and maybe I would have preferred it with arugula or something, but we can always adapt it next time. I had some of the mac and cheese for lunch, and it's not bad. I did like the mac and cheese. And then the beef and broccoli wasn't terrible. It actually came out kind of well. Hopefully it tastes good. It looks like it tasted good, so we'll see. Anyway, cheers. Good night. I'm tired. Being an adult is so freaking ridiculous.
3 days later.
Good morning. Happy first day off. My 3 days on are over. I have no real reading updates for you because I'm still reading this. I am past the halfway point. I'm liking it. It's an interesting read because of many things, but one of the things I've noticed is just how much this is a man story, not one man's story. Clearly it's one man's story, but it's a man story. It is a story that couldn't be a woman's because we are not given these opportunities to just bum around the world in safety. Our safety would be much more compromised than his is. And so it's just very interesting for me to read in that lens, and thinking about it through that lens, this idea of how men get to kind of travel. And gone are the days that women could travel like that in any way, shape, or form. The world is just too unsafe. I remember talking to my great aunt. So I really like to travel. We haven't done it in a long time, consistently, just because of life and things and money and all that. But when I have the opportunity, I really like to travel, and I like to go to weird places, off the beaten track. And my great aunt was the same way. And I remember having a conversation with her because I think my mom had said something to her about how like we were very similar. And she was just telling me about all the places she had been and through her long life and how like happy she was that one of her uh, little relatives, her young relatives, has inherited this zest for travel in the world, but like how you can't do the things that she's done the same way she did them because the world is just different. Also, some of that is like colonialism, but that's a different conversation. Anyway, so that was just, these are just interesting thoughts I'm having while reading this. It is very sensational at times. It's very like philosophical at times. There's a lot of moments where I'm thinking, did he really do that? Was he really that kind? Is there a lot of rewriting your own history in the way that you maybe would have liked to have acted in a moment, as opposed to perhaps how you did act in the moment? But definitely probably going to be one of those books, unless it takes some sort of dip in the end, the latter half here, that I will kind of remember for the rest of my life, that it will stick with me. It's one of those kinds of books. I don't know if it's like the best book of all time, but it's going to be a book that sticks with me for the rest of my life. So that's interesting. I do want to finish this in the next couple of days because I cannot keep reading this. I have other things I want to read, and my Libby holds are screaming at me. So there's that. I am finishing my reading vlog for Fourth Wing because I finally found my Apple Pen knockoff, and I am in Procreate making little animations to go on top of the video because I've been watching a bunch of people uh, talking about how they edit, and hopefully these vlogs will get more creative. I think I said that in an update before this. I'm trying to make these things more creative. This is where I want to play a little bit more with editing and take a little bit more time. I think my sit down videos where I just do a book review are just that. They're a book review. They don't need all these things on them, but I want to play more. I want to do more things. So I have my very old iPad and my very knocked off Apple Pen, and we are going to do that. So I'll show you one I made. So I made this little animation. He looks kind of creepy here, but will you play? He's a little like spicy chili. I think he's cute. I mean, I'm sure people can do better than that, but he's my first chili animation, and I like him. So that's what we're gonna do for the morning. Jesus is making me socialize tonight, so we are going to trivia night, I think, tonight with some people he knows from his hospital, and that's that. uh, uh, I'm not a fan of socializing, but apparently I can't be the girlfriend that just sits in the house and never sees anybody. People start to question. So I have to go make an appearance in public. Likes to travel, doesn't like to socialize. Explain that. I can't. Anyway, I'm gonna edit. I'm just gonna play the video back. It's mostly edited, and make some animations that I think would fit throughout the video. And that's it. That's my morning. I'll update you later. Hopefully I'll finish Shantaram sometime. Hello. Am I sitting in the same spot? And it's been hours. Yes. Have I finally finished editing that video? Yes. Am I eating some lunch finally / breakfast? Also, yes. I have read a small amount of Shantaram. This vlog is taking me significantly longer than I anticipated. I will get back to that after I eat and shower and get myself dressed in regular people clothes because I have to see people today. I'm happy with the final product as a first try with some of the things that I learned from some of the research I've been doing. So I'm proud of this first attempt on my Fourth Wing reading vlog. I hope that you guys like it. Hope it does reasonably well. I think it's really interesting how YouTube's really frustrating sometimes because you put all this effort into stuff and it flops, and then you'll just make some one-off thing and it does really, really well. And it's like budget and sounds off and all this other stuff, but for some reason, like thousands of people watch it, and you're like, why? I don't understand. YouTube itself is a whole wild ride emotionally, physically, psychologically, all of that. But anyway, I'm gonna eat my lunch. And then I'm gonna shower, get cleaned up, and read. I need to read. I need to read more of Shantaram. I just need to get this book done at this point. I love a good long book, but I also hate a good long book because there's just so many other things I want to read, and it takes up so much of my time. I only have so much time on this planet. You know what I mean? So I feel like I'm not maximizing my reading when I read a 1,000-page book, but I'm really enjoying it. So yeah. So I have showered. I slept with makeup. I'm fighting a migraine. I remembered something when the mail came. So I have a new video game that arrived, Cult of Lamb. So I want to get that teed up on my Switch. So I've just saved Animal Planet, Animal Crossing, and I'm going to add this in here. I also got myself a new little case for my games. I have a few more to put in there. But let's check this out. I bit the bullet and I got like the special edition pack of Cult of Lamb because I wanted it. I'm also kind of in the mood just to play coffee talk today and not do any reading, but I really do need to read. So let's open this puppy up. Let's see what's in here. I'm very excited for this. Even though I seem very like muted, it's just the migraine speaking. So I have a code to download the original soundtrack. Like, look how cute, the little culty lambs. There's another game that I've been looking at that I cannot recall the name of, but I really want it. It's like you play as the Grim Reaper, I think. And then this is just a book with all of the like original art and stuff in it, which is super cute. The environments, it just looks so pretty. Anyway, so that's that. And then this is the game. You can hear what sounds like a nuclear reactor going off. It's because Jesus is watching something on Chernobyl. Sorry, you can keep hearing my Discord notifications because my Discord goes off all day. Anyway, Cult of Lamb. Look how cute it is. It even has like little, oh, it's just so cute. Okay, so I'm gonna get this teed up to go because it's gonna download the software and everything. And while that goes, I'm gonna read Shantaram because that's gonna take some time. But Cult of Lamb is officially downloading. I managed to find a copy of Letters to a Young Poet by Rilke on Pango. So this did arrive recently. I have a bunch of publisher mail. Some of it I've already put sorted so it can go back on the shelves, but this stuff arrived this week while I was working, and this is a finished copy of The Quiet Man. Oh, sorry, The Quiet Tenant, not The Quiet Man, The Quiet Tenant. I believe this comes out this week, I want to say. So it should be out whenever I finish this vlog. And this is like a thriller about a serial killer thriller. Say that 10 times fast when you have a migraine. Scribner sent me Pig by Sam Sachs, which is out in September, and it's nice and short. I don't remember what this is about. I think this might be poetry. It interrogates the broadest ideas surrounding the humble pig, farm animal, man/masculinity, police and state police, desire, queerness, global food systems, religion, Judaism, and law. Sam Sachs draws on autobiographical history to explain topics ranging from drag queens to Miss Piggy to hog lagoons. So it sounded really interesting. Like, you know, it's either going to be stellar or I'm going to be like, what? So confused. And then this was, I've been waiting for this for a while, and I need to DM somebody because these are here finally. But Tor sent me the completed trilogy. Michelle's Dart, Michelle's, probably saying that wrong, Chosen, and Avatar, because there's a new book in this world coming out this year. So they sent me these in advance of that, so that I could dive into this world. Super excited to get into this, and I couldn't believe this came. I was like, what is this giant box? This is the giant box. This is what it is. So this will probably be July. This will be what I'm reading in July. I will put up information about what book the new book in the world is going to be here, like a cover and a release date. But yeah, these are kind of like a cult classic. People seem to really love these, and I think they're a little smexy, or at least there's like a romantical element to it. So I'm really excited. And like the covers are kind of smexy, and I'm so here for this. Cult of Lamb looks like it has downloaded already. But I really do need to read, so I'm going to read for a bit. Hello. It is late now. I think it's like almost 11:30, 12 o'clock at night. We went out for drinks and dinner and trivia night with another couple, and I didn't really get much done this afternoon before we did that because I was just kind of getting over that migraine. I tried to figure out streaming better because I really liked playing Animal Crossing or whatever I want, and just live streaming it is kind of just nice. Some of my friends like popped in and said hi, and it would be nice to figure out how to stream a little bit better so that I can do it more frequently and consistently so that maybe more of my friends can pop in and new friends could pop in and all of that. So I'm just taking off my shoes. I did get an actual Apple Pencil, and it's interesting seeing how this actually pairs and does things that my fake Apple Pencil doesn't do. I'm going to try not to lose this one as frequently as I lose this fake one. So that should make editing and stuff on my iPad a little bit easier and maybe better. I don't know. Fingers crossed. I posted that reading vlog and it's doing okay. It's not doing great, but it's doing okay. You never know. Sometimes these things take off like weeks later or days later, hours later. So there's always so much stuff on my bed because I like just do so many things in bed. Like some people are floor people. I'm a bed person. I got myself one of these 5-year journals where it just has a section for you to write a little bit every day because I really wanted to. One of my goals for the year was to journal every day, and obviously I haven't journaled every day this year because my goals I've been trying to take like in quarter chunks, and I've hit a lot of the goals that I've set for myself for the year, and I do need to sit down now that we're like coming in on the halfway point of the year and see where I'm at. Like, what can I prioritize and focus on, and like what have I missed and all of that, because I've never really been very goal oriented like this before, and it's been nice to do it because I have seen a lot of things change a little bit in my life instead of just like kind of wanting stuff. Like things have kind of been happening because I've been putting energy and time and like planning and focus on making it happen instead of just kind of wanting it but not doing any action towards it. So it's been nice. But anyway, so this is one of those things, and it's been going really well. I started, I think it was back in March. March 24th was the first day. Took me a while to bite the bullet and get this. So I was like, I don't know, will I do it? It's a waste of money if I get it and I don't do it. And it's now June 15th, and I am still going strong. And I think what this has been really helpful for is every time I've ever tried to like do daily journaling before, it's felt like a lot of pressure, like this big blank space, and then I want to fill it. And sometimes all I want to say is like, I'm really freaking tired. It was a really rough day at work. And when there's a big blank space, I want to fill it. And then I start going off and whatever, it gets to be work and not just like a touch point in the day. So this has been really a lovely piece of my routine, I guess. I might do a little bit more in this after I wash my face and brush my teeth. Uh, I might not. I might just go to sleep. Tomorrow I have the day to myself. And either way, we are finishing this book tomorrow because I can't hold on to Shantaram any longer despite enjoying it. I need to read other books. There's other things I want to do. And now it's starting to feel like an albatross around my neck. I'm going to wash my face and get to my journaling. Morning. Happy Friday. I just got a phone call because I forgot that this was happening. I have a technician coming out to look at something in my basement. So I'm awake. I was dead asleep. I just got changed. But I will tell you, you know what's lovely? I have these lovely curls. Looks like I did something. Now I feel like I'm doing an advertisement. And those came to you from Cozy Curlers. I saw this one creator whose name is escaping me right now. She does a lot of like cosplay stuff. I really like her. And she had these really cool curlers that she was like advertising or whatever. These are the curlers. And they just have this little thing. You roll them up and you stick them like around the curler to secure the little like curler bun. Amazing. I'm absolutely in love with them. And they weren't very expensive. Like they totally could be charging more just because I am sure somebody would pay. I think they were like under $40. I'm sure that they could charge more than that. I thought they were fairly priced at 40 though. And they just come in this little pouch. We got a handful of them. And your little water bottle. You spray it down, you put them on. And then I bought myself a little silk bonnet, which by the way, bonnet life. My hair is loving bonnet life. And I just go to sleep like a little lady like in a movie. I put cold cream on and I just go to bed. And it's great. I'm a little shocked that it's time for me to get up because I was dead asleep until my phone started ringing. But we're gonna start my day. We're finishing Shantaram today. That is all. That's what I know so far. I need coffee. It's coffee. Coffee's life. Summer's gone. I can read it. I am tired. It is now like 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I am still like nowhere near done with this book. I am at about the 75% mark. There's still like a whole actual book left, like a regular book, like a normal person book left of this book. And I'm tired. And it's starting to get dark because I think it's gonna rain. Maybe? I don't know. So I just wanna go to sleep. I don't wanna read any more of this book. Like, it's not that it's bad and there's been sad moments. There've been some really great characters that have died. There's been some betrayals. But like also it's just so much. And I'm wondering if you know that book that's like 12 books that are all like this size, the My Struggle. I'll put a picture of it. I can't remember the name of it. Carl something or other. Is this what this is like where you're just like reading one guy's life forever and ever and at some point you're like, oh my God, how long is this? Or is that just how I feel? Anyway, it's like he's now in Afghanistan doing some freedom fighter stuff. I mean, it's a wild ride, but like I need something frivolous. So I think I'm gonna debating making a coffee or taking a nap. I think I might take a little nap and then I might read something else for a bit because I can't do this. My brain is dead. Like this man has had a wild ride. I'm not gonna lie. But like, when does the ride end? When can I get off and go get a cotton candy? Because like I can't. I'm tired. I'm so tired. I've also been working on trying to figure out meal planning for the week. So we are working on that because that really worked out well last week. And I made all those meals. So I'm working on next week's round of meals. And I'm hoping that this vlog will basically just be me getting through the slog of this book and then talking to you guys about it. So that's what we're going to do. This is the Shantaram vlog where I don't even spoil anything. It's just you watching me attempt to get through this. What's interesting is This, though very good and memorable, does not move like, see, I'm brain dead now. There's another giant sort of book that's a family saga. I want to see The Fifth Element. That's not the right, that's wrong. It doesn't move like this book, which I'm going to put up here because my brain is dead. This book, whose name I cannot recall, but I can picture the cover of, really was propulsive in comparison. Maybe because there's so many characters that you're kind of following through the story, as opposed to following this guy and he interacts with a bunch of different people. So maybe that's what kept me going. Maybe I don't like having a singular person for 1,000 pages. We are going to finish this book in this goddamn blog. Might not be today, but we're finishing it. We're finishing it because I have cozy Switch games I want to play. I have a stream I want to do. I have things I want to do with my life that aren't finishing this book. And I feel like this is giving this book a disservice because it is actually good. I'm just not used to devoting like 2 weeks of my life to reading one book and doing it by myself. Like Gravity's Rainbow took me a little over a month, but I did it with someone else. So it was, I don't know, it was different. I need just like a cozy fantasy when this is over, or just straight smut. All right. Hello. Hi. Hemi and I are here to tell you that I'm still not done. But I did make it to part 5. So that's the last part in the book. That's how much I have left. Okay. I'm pretty much just listening to it at this point because I cannot read along because I am overwhelmed. I feel like this would have been a better book to have read with somebody else. Ooh, sorry, Hemi. With somebody else so that I could have gone slowly through it and talked with somebody about it, or maybe even done it as a reading vlog. But just as like a casual by myself read, it's just so much. And like I've said 1,000 times in this vlog, I just want to get to some of the other things on my list as well, because this is just, it's not 100% my kind of story. It's got a lot of like bro-ness in it. And I don't mean lip bro, like I mean like bro-ness, like war and like AK-47s and just things. And like a little bit of like kind of stoicism, I guess, maybe, or just like bro philosophy. And I can't do that for this condensed of a period. And I probably should have read this in a different way, but still doesn't take away from my appreciation of how good it is. It's just not. I like to read multiple books at the same time, and I'm not capable of doing this because I need to finish this before my library hold runs out. And I'm running out of time because this is huge. So tomorrow we are finishing this. Tomorrow I am 100% finishing this. The rest of tonight I'm just doing whatever the heck I want with my children. Children? Right, huh? And that's it. Yeah, you like that. You like when I do your ears? Yes. So I'm going to hang out with my children and I'm going to stop reading this book for tonight. Tomorrow we're finishing this because if I bring this past Saturday, I'm still reading this come Sunday. I'm going to lose my mind. Anyway, that's it. I'll see you tomorrow. I'm done with this. Say good night, Hemi. Why would you sound like that? You sound good night, Hemi. That's what you would sound like. You're a deep voiced. Yeah. Old man. Yeah. We're finishing Shantaram tomorrow. Happy Saturday. Happy we're gonna finish this goddamn book today. I am already listening to it. We are a couple chapters into part 5. We're cruising. I am losing steam on this book if you haven't figured it out. I honestly think it's because I'm reading it in too short of a time period. I think this might be a better book to read in chunks. Again, like with somebody, like I said yesterday, but that's not how I did it. So here we are. I have set up a live stream for tonight so you can play my new video game called Lamb. We are going to go pick up groceries in a little bit. so I can start my weekend of meal preps. And because I've been having the worst craving for Ritz crackers, we're making a dill pickle chicken salad. That's gonna go with Ritz crackers as a snack for the week. So I'm super excited for that. Yeah, I'm stalling now. I'm stalling. I'm gonna get back to this. I've had a coffee. I've had some eggs. Like I am fortified and ready to ride. I know I said I wasn't updating until I was done, but I have 2 more chapters. We're getting there. The important stuff has arrived. It's my Stanley dupe. And it says, in my reader era. Era, not error. In my reader era. It's so cute. I love the color. We stand. I'm gonna go fill it up. I'm gonna clean it out, fill it up, and hydrate for the rest of Shantaram. We are in the acknowledgments section, allegedly, of this audiobook. However, it's still the book. So this book is so long that the chapters don't even make sense. Like, it has overstayed its welcome in its own audiobook. The audiobook's like, it's time to go. And he's like, no. I have to wrap shit up with Carla first. But I will finish this in minutes. We are minutes away from me finishing Shantaram. And then I'm going to take a nap before I tell you anything about it. Hello. We are going to wrap up this reading vlog. I was attempting to stream tonight and it went better with the streaming platform. So thank you to the person who recommended Ecamm. I can't tell if my computer is lagging or if this is lagging. So it got really frustrating. So I only did an hour, even though like I really want to keep playing. But I'm gonna take that as a sign that Shantaram has destroyed me and it's time to go to bed. In the morning, we're gonna talk about this. I'm very glad it's over. I feel like it's been a journey. I feel like I need the night to decide if everything positive that I've said before matters, given how I feel at the end of this. So yeah, I'm gonna sleep on this. We'll talk about it tomorrow.
2,000 years later.
Where did I put the book? All right, I don't know where I put the book, so I think that explains a lot about how I felt about it, because I'm not caring where it goes. So, I mean, I know I said in the last clip that I would be back like tomorrow. It is over a week because it's taken me this long to care to even collect my thoughts on Shantaram. And I would hold it up, but again, I don't know where I put it. It could be anywhere in this house. It's probably on the shelves behind me and I just can't find it. But anyway, let's talk this book and some of like the thoughts I've had since reading it. I did enjoy the beginning parts of reading this book. I thought that the adventure was kind of fun. I thought it did some things that maybe Age of Vice didn't do as much of, in terms of showing us what life in India amongst regular people really looks like. I feel like Age of Vice was kind of sensational at times in a way that this isn't sensational. This is a bit more raw and human, and none of this is to say that Age of Vice was a particularly bad book or anything negative about it. Just, it's a book that I thought about while I was reading Shantaram. I do feel like that this man's story, I believe I said it in a clip, I feel like I can't believe that all of this has occurred, especially not in the way that he writes it. I feel like there must be pieces that are rewritten almost as an apology, or a way to maybe have acted in a way he perhaps wanted to. in a given instance, and maybe didn't at the time. It's hard to believe that anybody, though he is a morally sort of ambiguous person. I mean, he's a criminal on the run. You are sympathetic to him, but there is this whole like good guy at the heart of being a bad guy thing going on in this story. You've got, we're the good gang because we do X, Y, and Z, and they're the bad gang because they don't, especially by the end. It does highlight how these powerful like gang groups really control different regions and areas and the people, and how corrupt and persuasive these groups can be. You really get to see like the underbelly of a society. It is an interesting way to look at that. There are a lot of very well written sort of philosophical moments, particularly at the end of every chapter. He kind of likes to end with these like, I wish I had the book so I can read them to you, but they're like really good sound bites, which I did highlight because they're good sound bites. They're like good, those long-winded Hallmark card kind of sound bites on like love and life and loss and morals and the grayness of things and finding hope and stuff. And so there is that sprinkled throughout. So I could see how someone could read this and feel inspired or really connect, or maybe it speaks to them in some way, because it is written in a way to try to speak to you about something, not just to tell you a story. I feel like the romance in this is unnecessary. And it's not even like a romance. It's just kind of like this. I don't even know how to describe it. It just feels like a guy who was kind of obsessed with somebody who really didn't really want them, but like there's another person who does want them, and he's just not caring about the person who probably would be better for him. Anyway, I just didn't think that there needed to be like a romantical element to this in any way, shape, or form. I understand that romance is a part of life and you're telling the story, but I feel like he really could have just had like sexual conquests and that would be sufficient. And I'm sorry if you can hear my dog crying. I have not filmed anything in so long, and I'm trying desperately to get some content out to you guys, and I need to do that. But he likes to cry every time I do anything, because I have to do this upstairs and there's nobody downstairs with him but his sister, and that's not sufficient. He wants his mother. Anyway, I feel like my interest in Shantaram really waned as I went through, because it got very repetitive almost. Not that the events are repetitive, but it's just repetitive in tone and these like moralizing sound bites at the end of every chapter. And at some point it's just like, oh my God, like I know this is an amazing life story, and now you're like, you went from being on the run and just being a guy trying to not get caught in India to like making friends to like setting up a school to mentoring a boy to suddenly you're in jail, and then you're like in Afghanistan fighting Russians or something. Like there's a lot that happens in this book. I think what it comes down to at the end of the day is I was reading something else, and I can't remember where I was reading. It may have been Checkout 19. It may have been something else I read recently, but it was a female story. It was a woman's story. It was the kind of story that is a lot more domestic or insular or within the boundaries of a set area. It's not as expansive and traveling and going out and about and doing crazy adventures. And I've realized I don't know if I, at this point in my life, like male stories like this, because I cannot see myself in them at all. And not because they're written by men, but they are written as male stories, because these are events and circumstances that can only really happen to men, because it's not safe for women to do this. Yes, his love interest does something similar and flees from the US to India, and she starts this whole other life there. And I think it would be very interesting to see her story and how does she survive and the things that she has to do to survive. But she's not going to necessarily have this expansive story that goes from running from the law to fighting in a militia, like a guerrilla army group, and smuggling arms into Afghanistan. Like, it's just, and then back again, and then being in a gang, and then it's so many things that are just not normal. Like, the fact that, so just traveling alone as a woman is a weird thing. Like, it is an unsafe thing. It is something that you spend a lot of time setting up and putting precautions and things into so that you are safe. You don't just go. And I think that there are a lot of narratives that are about men doing things like this, where they just go and they do, and the world is their oyster and it is open to them. And that is not a very female narrative. And that is not something that many women even get the opportunity to do, because it's not safe. It is not, we are often not even allowed to like abandon our home life without judgment. And I think what Shantaram has taught me is that I like books that, or the books that speak to me. Like, I feel like Shantaram was written to speak to people, and it didn't speak to me. It didn't come through the same way as I think perhaps it has with other people. Because the things that speak to me, like most people, are the things that I identify with, and the things that like are part of my personality and my personhood. And I'm not going to ever probably live in a world where I can just willy-nilly go wherever I want in it and be safe, like bodily safe. I have domestic things that I have to concern myself with. I am expected certain things. So my world becomes smaller, even though it is bigger than it probably ever has been before for women. It's still a smaller bubble. And I like those stories, like A Ghost in the Throat, that talk about the bubble that we live in, and how we live in that bubble, and how we feel in that bubble, and how our adventures may seem small in comparison, but they are still adventures. They are still boundary pushing. They are still thrilling in some ways. I think it's just not my kind of story, which is a shame, because I can see how the sensationalness of it and the sweeping epic nature and the things that he goes through could be so captivating for other readers. And for me, they just dragged on. And I was so happy when it ended. So I don't know how to really rate this. I think for me, it's really a middle of the road book. But I think if you want a book that's sweeping adventures and crazy things that you feel like could never happen in real life, but apparently did to some extent, because it is kind of a reflection of this man's real life, maybe not in exact details, but pieces, read it. I think that it is well written. It is a good story. It is all of those things, but on a personal level, it's not for me. So I wasted a lot of my June reading this. God, I spent so much time in Shantaram. I don't remember what month it is. I spent so much of my June reading this, and I honestly kind of regret giving it all the time I did, because I never got that payout, that thing that others have gotten. But hey, that's what happens when you read. And I learned a little bit more about me and the things I like in stories. And hopefully some of that made some sense, because every time Hemi cries, it like breaks something in my brain and I can't continue a thought. But hopefully that made sense. Thank you for going on this journey with me. I appreciate you being here. Like and subscribe, and I'll see you in my next video, whatever it may be, because it's my channel and I can do whatever I want. Bye.
So just sit with me, talking to the night until the morning, building chemistry.